with you today to get into these messages and see what Spirit wants to say. So let's see what we have for our messages. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot today. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I'm seeing that you have plenty to be happy about in regards to closing cycles. You connected the dots. You made sense of some things. You have a lot of opportunity now as a result of doing so. You learned what to let go of and what to hold on to. And at the end of the day, you realized you had to hold on to you. As a result, like your life is showing you now a bunch of situations and circumstances that you can discern are honoring everything you've been through. You're understanding now with these situations and circumstances the reasons for the pains of the past, and you're having more abundant now. You're being recognized for other many reasons by the other people in your experience right now. And that's not something you're used to. It's like you've always been alone, and all of a sudden now you're not. So let's see. And it feels like community-wise, it does. Seven of Swords. Okay, so what's the lie? Where's the deception? Oh, because it was always a divine plan. So it's like the universe tricks us into walking the path of our highest fulfillment. It has to trick us. It tricks us with our cravings, our desires, our obsessions. But it's all something, it's not like the universe alone is working to do this. No, you were involved in that. The highest version of you is involved in that, is what I'm hearing. So the situation is Seven of Swords. In the past, there was a lot of things you found that were not true. People, true about yourself even. You know, you figured out a lot of places where there was some false beliefs being entertained, ideas that were working against you, where you not only self-sabotage yourself, but I hear counted yourself out of a lot of things in the past. You had a lot of people who were treacherous in your experience. They gave me specifically the word treacherous. You had a lot of people who brought a lot of pain, a lot of deception, a lot of illusions, a lot of just underhanded, backstabbing shit you had around you in the past. Okay. And I see where people tried to lie to you and give you a false truth. They tried to give you a lot of false truths to buy into a lot in the past. I see that too. People try to tell you things were what they were not. Like, it's like they were trying to tell you that the sky was yellow, or that the sky was green, or that the sky was brown, when you know the sky is blue. They tried to gaslight you. A lot of people have tried to gaslight you in the past. The thing of it was, before they even made their attempts to do whatever they attempted to do, you already had a certain understanding before you even got to that point. Like, it's like somebody tried to present an idea to you that you already knew wasn't true from before you walked into the situation. Yeah. It's like if somebody tries to tell you 1 + 1 = 5, and you're like, no, 1 + 1 = 2. And in some cases 3, depending on how you're talking. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, let me see. Knight of Swords in your current energy. Knight of Swords. It's so easy for you to get through this now. Anytime the stuff comes up where you see, it's like because you went through the challenge of the deceptions, the lies, the illusions, the false beliefs in the past, now like it's easy for you to identify what's going on and get over it, move past it, do all that, because you already have the truth. Exactly. You already have the truth. So when people tell you stuff, like people be coming in and trying to tell you things, but they have to always meet with your truth, because you already know what the truth is. This is even showing me where sometimes when people try to tell you about yourself, you know, you had a boundary, you had a different opinion, a different approach, you had a different experience, something like that. But whatever it was that was different about you, it challenged somebody else, and so they decided to bring the challenge back to you and tell you something about yourself. But hold on, but I already know my truth. It's like they call you a B word and you're like, okay, well, which one of these B's that I be that do you want to meet today? Because I got all the B's in me. You're not doing anything. It's like your attack is ineffective. This is like, it's like that one Eminem song where he like tells all his trash in the song because he's like, what else are you going to throw at me? Like, I know what I am. I know my light parts, my dark parts, my pretty parts, and my ugly parts. I know all that. So go ahead. Like, it's not like I'm hiding nothing. I'm getting like, I know. Well, you're trying to hurt my feelings with my truth. Oh, there's that energy there. Okay. What else? It's sad to see this happen in with certain connections when it does happen, because you never went down the road of these connections with these ones to see. But, you know, the more you kept seeing disappointment, the more you kept seeing stuff that was bringing you down, the more you kept seeing stuff that was very hurtful, like it taught you. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, but you learn from the pain. Yeah, you learn from the pain. They're giving me Tupac. They're giving me the rose that grew from the concrete. Okay. It's like your truth sets us. The thing is, they have a hard time because, like I said, your truth. So see this one sword that goes right down the center? It's showing me that it's your Ace of Swords. It's your truth. Somebody has their idea. Somebody else has another idea. Well, you're going to cut all right down to the middle of it, because what you know of facts, it like cuts through both of the illusions, both of the delusions. Like they try to tell somebody trying to tell you one thing, and then they try to tell you another thing, and you know both of them are bullshit. You know all of it is lies, because you know the truth. No matter what, they just don't want you to look at the truth, because they look at you like you're everything. Like people are recognizing you right now that you've actually made your life better by being this way, by doing this. People recognize like you're living a good life. Yeah, people can see that about you. I see where people have dealt with a lot of deceptive relationships in the past, but now you're meeting people who are very true to their word. My word is my bond, I heard. Okay, so you're meeting now more people who are very true to their word, people whose word carries weight and value. Okay, I see that coming in your experience. Yeah, Ace of Wands. They're saying definitely say yes to new opportunities, to engage with new people and try new things. There's a lot of opportunity for new things. The universe is actually really honoring your growth that you've had from the process. They're saying this process of standing in your truth whenever people would try to challenge you is really developed a lot in you. It's made you self-sufficient. It's made you stable. It's made you prosperous, abundant, and affluent is the way they say about you. Yeah, you've changed a lot. You've been through a huge change. You can fly now. Now you've got your wings. Okay, the monarch butterfly is symbolic for somebody. I see a monarch butterfly tattoo. I also see a parrot. Somebody has a parrot tattoo. Somebody has their parrot on their shoulder right now. Okay. So yes, is the guidance for you. Stand in your power. Take your truth and act on it now. I'm hearing take your truth and now act on it. Your truth is great, but now you have to keep acting on it over and over again. It's like it's easy to live in your truth now. You had to realize your truth before you could live in your truth. But once you got your truth, living in it become easier. Now it's like automatic. Because I heard it. It's automatic. All right, let me see. Oh, Two of Swords, yeah. And everybody's not going to see it. Everybody's not going to see you. There's the Two of Swords that was part of this Three of Swords energy. So there's going to be two people that are going to challenge your truth, that are going to challenge who you are, that are going to challenge the way you show up. Oh, well, it's like, they're showing it to me in the experience of two very insecure, jealous people standing on the sidelines, watching you while you're on the dance floor, but you're the only one on the dance floor, and they're looking at you like there's something wrong with you. Because, you know, they don't dance if there's not everybody dancing. But what they don't understand is 5, 6, 7, 8. Somebody got to start the dance off, and that's what you do, is the energy. It's like whatever this is, that everybody will eventually, because, you know, at the end of the party now, everybody's dancing, right? Everybody's dancing, but somebody had to get up and dance first. And so there's a couple of them that's going to be sitting on the sidelines while you're doing your dance. This is you doing your dance, right? And then there's these couples sitting on the sidelines that, you know, there's things of themselves that they don't see. And one of the things of themselves that they don't see is getting up and being the only one dancing in a room full of strangers. I mean, it's like you went out by yourself on top of it all. So it's not like you have a crew cheering you on. You're there by yourself and you're dancing and you're the only one dancing. So that's going to rub some people wrong. It's going to trigger the things that they don't see in themselves. And I low key, no, high key, I see gossiping. They're gossiping. Okay. I heard there's been a lot of lies told about you for a long time, but you have actually, without even knowing that you were proving your truth, that you were proving what was actually true in this situation where they had lied about you, you did it anyway. In other words, it's almost as if somebody made some sort of accusations about you, false claims against you to try to distort your reputation and just try to distort your credibility. And you had no idea this was going on. You had no idea you were being observed. You had no idea any accusations had been made or somebody was slandering your name. But you stood in your character anyways whenever life happened the way life happened. And so now nobody can question your character, your truth, or who you be and how you are, because it's already been seen. So just because these haters and naysayers ain't privy to that information, they gonna act in a way that's gonna get their spot blown up is the way I hear it, and not in a good way. Yeah, I'm seeing a shit-tastrophe, which is a term that we use for the babies, because when the babies have a blowout in their diaper, it's a shit-tastrophe. It's everywhere. If they're in a car seat, if they're on the sofa, if they're on the bed, it's everywhere, right? So, yeah, it looks like a shit-tastrophe. Confirmation on the phone going off right now while I was live. Okay, let's see. What else? The Hierophant. Yeah, all those lies and deceptions just taught you some things. It gave you skills, talents, and abilities. It taught you the life lessons that would serve you moving forward. I'm hearing it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Yes, it's been a hard knock life, but because of those hard knock life, you got all kinds of wisdom, and you learned to have a direct connection to source, to the highest self, to God, to the universe, whatever way you want to speak it. We speak all these vernaculars, but you get the point. You get the gist. Yeah, you learn things. You learn moves that were going to mess you up. You learn moves that were going to make you greater. You learn that it wasn't about what other people thought about you. You had to do what was right in your own spirit, with your own soul. Because at the end of the day, I hear you had to sit with yourself. And you can sit with yourself and feel disgusted or not. You can sit with yourself and feel approval, satisfaction, accomplishment. And that's the path you chose. You made sure that when you moved, even if they showed up as deceptive, treacherous, liars, cheaters, and thieves, you showed up in the right way. I see somebody specifically was in a whole marriage with the whole liar. For somebody that looked like they had two whole families. For somebody that looked like they had a whole bunch of people thinking that they were single the whole time they were married. Like, I also see people where you've had a lot of experiences where contracts were never fulfilled. Like, you move into a place, it's in the contract for them to take care of this and that at the place, and they don't. And then it has messed with your life. I see somebody who has ended up with a lot of unfair dealings in business or at work. Like, they lie to you, they say they're going to promote you, they say they're going to do this, they're going to send you to school. Whatever they said they were going to do, they weren't doing it. And it kept happening over and over and over again. Yeah. All of that was a training process. So you could learn to recognize the voice of the divine within. Whether you call it, again, the highest self, the God, the source, the universe, whatever. It's all fact. It's all fact. What else? The Knight of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles in the current energy. Yeah, it's changing. You've addressed so much. You've done this repeatedly enough so that now the universe is responding to the energy that you are. And it's like you already finally funneled through all of what was residual from the old way of being. The old identity had so much stuff in the pipeline when you shifted to your new identity that there is a long period of time while living in the new identity that the experiences kept showing up from the old identity because they were already in the pipeline. There was no sending it back once you placed your order with the universe. So it still showed up. And the cold part about it was to get to where you're at now, you had to stand in your new identity while the old identity experiences that it ordered kept showing up. And meanwhile, it's like you're having this emotional, mental funeral for the old identity that you were, celebration of life even, because it's like the old identity was exactly what I needed to become this new identity that I am. It's like the caterpillar being mourned by the butterfly that you've become. Yeah, because you couldn't have become the butterfly if you were never the caterpillar, baby. You had to crawl on your belly for a long time. Yeah, you had to sit very low to the ground in order to be able to fly. Yeah, and that's in harmony with universal law that says, you know, it can only go up as high as it went down. And it's got to go down first in order to launch up into the high. Oh. Okay. And because of the reverse of the Earth's core magnetics and opposite attraction for so long, there was a lot of people that had it so good first, and then the end of it was just not good. And you've heard those stories, and you've known these people. Okay. But a lot of you, most all of you watching this message had it really hard before, and it taught you a lot. It's like it forged you. And along the way, you would have great experiences too. I'm not saying everything was miserable, because it was not. You were able to see the right part, the bright part, the beautiful parts of life as you went through these experiences where it was not always like that, right? And they're showing me a sword that's forged of steel by going from heat to ice, to heat to ice. So life was very much like that for you, but it made you solid as steel, solid as a rock. That's what I heard, baby. Yeah. And that's your truth. Yeah. Four of Wands, you're firmly on your path. Nothing and no one can knock you off of it. You could fly through it, you could walk through it, you could talk through it, you could be doing it in any sort of way, but the fact is you're firmly on your path, you know this is your truth, and you're solid as a rock in your truth. Nobody can tell you who or what you are, because you know who and what you are. And you're okay with discovering more of that. However, it's not for somebody else to insert it about you. Now, for some of you, this is playing out in a different place on the timeline, and they're showing me where you've had these ideas. Well, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that. And so you're having different ones who are showing up, and they're confirming those ideas of what you thought you might be. But there's some part of yourself that was so uncomfortable with being so big and being all that you saw of you that you kind of like, maybe not. You kind of shied away from it. Yeah, they gave me the phrase shied away. So you kind of shied away. Shy girl. Okay, somebody's shy girl here. Let me see more. The Knight of Pentacles is with the Three of Swords. Yeah. Okay. I'm hearing, and there's always going to be challenges in life, and there's always going to be some sort of hurt, some sort of pain, some sort of thing that's going on out here in this world that you can't escape from. However, your response can be consistency in your character. Consistency in your character, knowing that you have a bit of protection over you to go to and do what you meant, intended, and choose to. Okay. What was that license plate that I saw? Let me see. Was it? Please be on this phone that I took the picture of the plate. It said defense. Defense, yes. And what was the car that was in front of it that I didn't get a picture of? It was something related to the defense. Okay. The license plates I saw today, this morning while driving, literally said defense, and it's Colorado plates. So, yeah, remember that you're protected as you go through anything. I heard you were even protected before you got here. You were protected before you got here. You were protected coming in, and you're protected going out. You're safe. You're always safe. Even if the experience isn't pleasant, there's still a blessing in it because you're always safe. The universe is constantly conspiring in your favor. Remember the word pronoia that we've spoke to you many times, and we're not done with it. Because the universe is constantly conspiring in your favor. And I heard the universe said, don't stop, get it, get it. Yeah, the universe is constantly conspiring in your favor. It wants you to get it, get it, get it. Get it what? Get it while the getting is good. Get it where you can, you should be getting it. That's it. Yeah, that's what, consistent. Okay. Yeah, so interesting. In order to become so affluent and so abundant and so prosperous and so successful and so independent, you had to face your fears. You have an alignment of energy here in the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. There's an alignment of energy. The thought equals the physical reality. Universe is saying, hey, you faced your fears to change your physical reality. Because you faced your fears, like for somebody specifically, 9 specific fears you faced, 9 specific memories, 9 specific false truths about the self you face, and those are all turning into physical resonance now, in the sense of now the universe is vibrating to that new identity. Because as you face those fears, I reveal to yourself who and what you are. Am I really that? Am I really that? Why do I feel this fear? Why am I rejecting this opportunity? Why am I afraid of my success? Why am I afraid of putting myself out there? Why am I afraid of saying my truth? Because the truth in speaking it was so relevant here with this Ace of Swords. Why am I afraid of speaking my truth? Is it because I'm afraid they won't like me? Is it because I'm afraid they're going to leave me? Well, they probably will. Oh, well, you've learned how to be good with that. Oh, okay, that part right there, that's a whole part. Okay. With the Ace of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups. You have this power and ability that you've gathered from your learning of pattern recognition and self-awareness, as well as whatever learning you've done with mind mechanics, or in other words, learning how humans and their psyche responds to situations, that you are now actually extremely psychic because you are willing to perceive from these different levels. Like you have this power and this ability. Queen of Swords or Queen of Cups with the Ace of Wands. You have this power and ability to see things, to know things, and it is extremely intuitive. But it's like you develop the intuition by recognizing the patterns. You develop the intuition and the psychic ability by seeing the patterns that made you, like, you know what's coming next, right? And on that path, I'm hearing on that path, you've learned that you've been right about a lot of things before, but it took this path for you to put it all together, to put the pieces together. Like we were saying during the shuffle, you're starting to put all the pieces together. You're making the connections now. You know that on this journey, regardless of the ones that don't vibe with you, that ain't tribe with you, that are here for you to simply say no and walk away from, there's ones that you're simply here to say yes and connect with. And you hold space for that. I hear, and you hold space for that. I see somebody saying, yeah, I know I have a partner, a connection, an opportunity coming my way, but I haven't seen it yet. I heard that's okay. That's okay, because it's got to be ready when it shows up. It's got to be all the way ready when it shows up, okay? The Fool. Just trusting in the journey. Like for it to show up requires that you trust in your journey, that you believe what you know to be your truth and stand in it consistently, regardless of who and what shows up and how or when. Notice how you have things that are in alignment and synchronicity with that, what you're expecting. Okay. Because there is a lot of signs and synchronicities happening for you. Yeah. You had to learn, while folks were disturbing your peace, you had to realize, like, that was a message. I'm hearing when folks were disturbing your peace, that was a message to your spirit. If it doesn't feel good, there's a reason why it doesn't feel good, and you have to honor that. And so you figured that out by several experiences that you went through already. And now you made that a way of life, a way of living. And you changed some of your responses and some of your reactions to things because you started to recognize that when it feels like that, it always turns out like this. And so if I don't want this to happen again, I don't want to choose things that feel like that anymore. Simple, right? Or not so simple while you're learning it. You know that you're called to things for a reason. You know that you connect with who you connect with for a reason. You walk the path and you figure out what that reason is. And it's not always the reasons we thought it was. And you understand that now, so your responses are different to the connections. You check for what is the purpose of this connection. Okay. You know that there's been some people in the past that's still thinking about you because of the conversations and the experiences that you had together, because the way you show up in these experiences and not the way that folks are really used to is not what they've known before, okay? And so you stay on folks' minds when you leave. You stay on folks' minds when you leave because, you know, it's like you could match whatever they brought, you would add to it. So if they brought a good conversation, you brought profound conversation, right? If they brought a good side dish, you brought a great entree. However way you want to see it, right? If you brought knowledge of algebra, if they brought knowledge of algebra, you brought knowledge of, I don't know, calculus or quantum physics, right? Whatever they brought, you were able to expound upon it and take it further. They know that. People recognize that about you. And people recognize that you're really not afraid of things, that you tackle challenges like they tackle a cheeseburger. Why is that so funny? Okay. And some of these people get rubbed the wrong way when they meet you because of the fact that you do move with such precision. So much more precision than they do. And I hear somebody saying, I'm actually a sloppy mess, but in this sloppy mess, you're learning things that you're going to figure out as you move forward. You're going to have the precision that I'm talking about. If you're thinking that you're still moving like a sloppy mess, well, good, because the fact that you're in your own sloppy mess is the only way how you can learn to move with precision. Through your own sloppy mess, because at the end of the day, it's our own mess. No matter how clean or sloppy it is, it's ours. So we can't be so focused on what others are doing and how they do. We got to figure out our own. And others aren't always going to like what that looks like. And that's okay. I'm hearing, and that's okay. Because it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody pretty much does what is in their best interest overall in general. I heard overall in general. And some folks are really going to be, I see people competing for your time. I heard, and let them compete for your time. Your time is valuable and sacred. Your attention is extremely expensive. So, let them compete for your attention. That's okay. Yeah. And where you think you're at your last nerve, you'll find that no, you're not at your last nerve. There's plenty more there if you decide there is. But if you decide you're at your last nerve, you could be right about that too. It just depends on which one of those energies is stronger within you. Oh. But you only find out how awesome you are and how empowered you are as you move through the challenges and obstacles in life. How would you know how much you could how much weight you could lift if you have never been to lift weight in the gym? You wouldn't know how much you could do if you didn't try, if you didn't get out there and do. Oh. When you see things and ones who are just counterproductive, you now know to walk away, let them go, leave them sit where they be. Everybody is not in a place where they're meant to walk down the same path as you. It's just like cars on the road. Most of them hopefully they're all going to turn off at some point. I mean, unless y'all going to the same house, place of business or what have you. When you're driving on the road, you pass cars all the time. You might even smile at the person in the car next to you. If you're really cool, you might even wave or throw a peace sign, right? I'd like to see more of that. That's so fun. People are so awesome when I have great red light conversations with them. More people should do that. Anyways, but they go about their life, and I don't talk to them probably ever again, right? And it's okay. So understanding here in so many of these situations, everybody's got somewhere to be, something to do. If you're only at a red light together for a moment or two, make the best of it and let go and move on. Yeah. A lot of crossings are just temporary moments that are fleeting. That are fleeting. And that's okay. And you've gotten better about that. And I'm hearing that that's a big deal because the old school self, the old identity that you used to be, love to cling on. You were a cling on. I love to stay stuck with, hold on to, had attachment issues, wanted to attach everybody come this way with me. Like everybody, let's link arms, let's all go together. No, it doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, then you get a lot of drag in your step because this one's actually being pulled that way. That one's being pulled that way, and you're supposed to go this way. Okay. Because it's like as soon as you realize the patterns in your own past, your energy got lighter. you felt lighter. You felt more optimistic and positive about where you are. It's like the sense of peace that you get when you realize, like, everywhere I've been, every shitty experience has led me to being here. So I'm glad I did it then. That means I don't have to do it again. You know, if it was all part of the journey of getting here and some of it was treacherous and difficult, I'm glad I got here. Oh, look, we finally made it over the mountain range. Now it's going to be a downhill stroll for a while, I heard. Okay. Ships coming in, baby. You've been feeling that for a while. Like, it's like as soon as you address the past places where you felt betrayed, where you felt like somebody had more power in your life over you, where you had a legit, completely validated negative experience because some douche did whatever they did, but you know, you found a way that it empowered you, made you wiser. It gave you a level of experience that you couldn't have gotten any better way. It made you an advocate. It made you a coach. It made you a healer. You had to heal thyself before you could help anyone else through their healing process. Or it's not even, you don't heal them. You don't help them. You just tell them what worked for you, and then that works for them if they choose to. Oh, it can easily. Okay. But anyways, because of addressing all the stuff from the past, anywhere where you're holding on to false limiting beliefs, restrictive ideas, truths that everybody else told you that were not truths, they were just meant to keep you in a little box. Like, you came out of the box and you came out of the cocoon, and baby, you could fly. You're not a caterpillar no more. You got wings. You could fly. You the red bull give them wings. Oh, that part. Queen of Wands, you're so empowered. Okay, Queen of Wands sitting with the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, what had happened was every time you had an attack, every time somebody tried to get you to sit in an energy of lack, anytime anybody tried to take power and dominance over your life, was another chance to practice what you do and what you believe to be true. And as you did more of that, like, you found yourself in this place where, oh, it's working. It's working. It actually works. I'm right. I'm right. No, they don't get to decide for me. No, they don't get to choose for me. No, they're not more powerful in my life than I am for me. And some people see you as aggressive now. And some people see you as like stingy now. I heard that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That means they're not taking advantage of you anymore. That means they're not using you anymore. Because if you're stingy, if you had to pull back from, see, if you were being fed and nourished the same way you were feeding and nourishing in these situations, then you might not have felt like pulling back because you would be nourished as you give. But there were situations where you were giving and you weren't receiving the nourishment. You were receiving cold shoulder. Like, yeah, dead coals, ashes. You were getting shit back. So anywhere where you were giving that, like, you learned, and then you learned how to pull your energy back as well. That's awesome, because that took skill, that took time, that took practice, and that was actually a really difficult skill to develop, because when you care, you actually truly care, and you're actually truly there, and all of those feelings were valid too. So it's a difficult truth to realize, like, I gave more fucks about who you are and how you live than you. Dang. Like, I invested more in you than you did in yourself. And it's not working. Damn, I have to stop investing here. It's because what happens with ones like us who are in alignment here on this channel is we can see their probabilities and potentialities due to that psychic ability that we have developed. And the patterns that we see. We know that the more tragedy, the more greatness, right? We know that the wound is where the light enters. So if somebody has been cut with so many wounds in life, we know that there's so much room for the light to enter in that one. And we can see their probabilities and possibilities. We can see what happens when that light is nurtured and grown and focused upon. And we can see that. But the challenge is that when they don't see it and they're not following that path and making those choices, like, how long will you detain yourself here against a door that's locked? Because it looks like they're showing me literally a door that's locked. They can only unlock it themselves. Each one of us can only unlock it ourselves. Nobody can unlock the doors for you in your own spirit, in your own energy, in your own soul. Likewise, you can't lock it for them in theirs. Each one, I heard each one teach one, but each one must unlock their own door. Each one has to find their teachability. Each one has to be willing to discern, to learn, to expand, to grow, to consider another perspective on their own. You can't make them, force them, get them to join. It doesn't work like that so often. The ones that have the willingness, the desire to, will do it. And you won't have to force them. It will be a natural flow. It will be a natural flow. Okay. So you got all this power. You also have an ability, like you have an understanding now, and this is truly a blessing for you, of because you've seen so much stuff that you didn't want to see, and now you're so sensitive to energy, you have this intense ability to focus specifically on who and what you love and who and what loves you. That'll change your whole life right there. Just that technique will change your whole life. In other words, so many people have had conversations, even today already, right, about who was hateful in what kind of way. If they didn't leave that in a place of love, in a vibration of love, that didn't serve their best interest. And a lot of them that have conversations about that don't. How can you leave it in a place of love? Because you take the lesson from it. Thank you. Thank you for the lesson. I took the lesson. I don't even hate you. I ain't even mad at you for what you had did. Right? It's just a recognition, a lesson, a learning, and leaving it in a higher vibration. I just know I'm not going to go down the roller coaster with you, baby. That's what I heard. Okay, so you stay focused on who loves you and who you love, and where that's returned in reciprocal, where there's real connection, where you don't feel like you have to be on your P's and Q's, walking on eggshells, on guard all the time, might not, afraid to be yourself, speak your truth, do your dance, sing your song. No. And part of the reason that you're able to connect with people that are like that, because you're literally not that anymore. You're not afraid to do your dance or sing your song or speak your truth anymore. To connect with people who could honor and hear your song and see your dance and hear your truth, you had to be the person that could deal with your own. Like, you had to hear it for yourself. You had to dance it for yourself. You had to sing it for yourself. You had to tell it to yourself. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a dream? Okay, tell it to my heart. You had to tell it to your own heart. And then you could connect with other people that could honor what was in your heart. So part of the reason you attracted so much lying, cheating, deceptive people was because you weren't honest with yourself either at one point. Otherwise, you couldn't attract so much dishonesty. At the same time, to add to that, wherever that was true, you did have the reverse magnetic flow of the Earth's core going and making the law of attraction work in opposites. Lord of mercy. So you were really dealing with a lot. Like, they're showing me a backpack, not like the kind that I carry, which is like a school size, regular school size backpack. They're showing me like a military size backpack. You got to be able to lift 100 pounds to pick up their backpack. It's so filled with so much stuff. And they're showing me that it was such a huge weight to carry all these things. And now you don't have to. And so now you can move so much smoother and easier. I love that. Yeah. One of the challenges you faced was leaving out the other people's ideas about you. Who cares if they're gossiping? Earlier we said, yeah, I see somebody gossiping. Who cares? Let them gossip all they want to. It literally has no bearing on your truth. They can think whatever they want, because now you understand that the words coming from their heart, their soul, their mind, and out their mouth came from inside of them. It didn't come from you. It came from inside of them. If they can only see so much of you, that's not your fault, right? They can only meet you as far as they can meet themselves. They can only love you as far as they can love themselves. They can only be loyal to you as far as they can be loyal to themselves. They can only be as honest with you as they can be to themselves. And likewise you, which is why you made that obsessive decision to really get with yourself. Where have I been deceiving myself? Where have I been lying to myself? Well, apparently at one point you were deceiving yourself, thinking that what you had in the past was all you could ever get. That was the best you could have. That was one lie that they're showing me that you believed in the past. Okay. 9699. Like, Lord of mercy, this is beautiful. Spirit is here acknowledging that, you know, you have emotional independence, you have mental independence, and you have physical independence. Did you know that? Because you get what you give. They're showing me you didn't restrict people's ideas. In other words, if they didn't agree with you and they didn't see things the way you did, and maybe they had some other opinions that was off the wall bonkers too, whatever, just like they might have thought of yours, you just let people be where they are. So you have emotional independence and mental independence and physical independence because you didn't restrict their movements. You didn't try to stop them from being where they were or how they were. You just let folks be who they are. You know, and you didn't try to make people choose to be happy. If they didn't want to be happy, fine. You let them be sad by themselves or over there with the other sad Sallys and negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers and, you know, all that stuff. But you decided to let folks be where they are. Well, you're being honored now. It's like the universe is honoring that in you. So because you let people be who they are and you hold your vibration, you hold your frequency and your core identity of who you are, remember, because you chose that new identity. You already had a whole memorial celebration of life and a memorial and all that stuff, a funeral for the identity you used to be. So you honor your new identity. The universe is seeing it, acknowledging it, and responding to it. Because of you holding it so consistently for so long. Now, of course, on top of that, you have the corrected flow of the Earth's core magnetics, which supports like attracts like instead of the like attract opposite that we saw prior to the 2010 and up, right? Really, since 2020 is where people have started to see, especially the ones who are on the leading edge of thought with this energy, on the leading edge of energy with this thought, okay, both. Those ones who are at the very leading edge had already been seeing it since 2020, and more harmonized connections. It started with just one. Okay, it started with just one. So keep on saying no to all the things that equal no in your vibration and your frequency. Stay spiritually bougie. Stay vibrationally picky. Yeah, stay vibrationally picky. Hold that boundary tight for your high frequency. That's wise. That is very wise. And I'm hearing, and your ability to satisfy your own soul assists greatly in that process because you're not losing anything or lacking anything when you have to say no. Before, when you first started this journey, you felt like you were. You thought you were missing out on something. You thought you had missed opportunities and such, but no, that now you're in touch. Now you're in touch with the greater part of you. Okay. Let me see some more. Anywhere where you were, it's kind of repeating what I just said because it's like anywhere where you felt lack and limitation, where you felt restricted, where you were feeling alone, using that as a fuel to remind yourself, like, I'm good. I can trust in my journey. If I'm alone right now, I'm meant to be alone right now. If I'm alone right now and I'm meant to be alone right now, I must be okay with being alone right now. If I'm meant to be alone right now and I'm alone right now and I'm okay with being alone right now, then I know that I won't always be alone, and that's okay. And how many ways am I not really alone, even though it looks like I'm alone? Because I've also learned to see that there's more besides the physicality. There's more than meets the eye, and I'm very aware of that too. And so how have I been supported this whole time, even though it was something that I had not even yet chosen to give my attention to, but now I do. So I'm ready to see what else is here supporting me. What other love is there here for me today? What other kindness is there here for me today? What other generosity? I mean, if I'm so loved and so appreciated on earth and I'm supposed to be here, what do you have me here for? What am I here to receive, learn, be, and do today? Oh, okay. Somebody wanted a rant. In the past, you had a proclivity of having a problem for every solution, like so many others do. Now you're very sensitive to those who live that way. When you offer an opportunity of awareness that could turn into a behavior of great benefit to another and they don't like it. In other words, you got a great suggestion. This is a great suggestion. You should try this. And then, you know, they don't like that shit. And they're going to argue for their limitation and, you know, provide the problem to every solution. You now know, like, Okay, I'm going to just stop talking. It's like, okay, I'm just going to stop talking to you because you don't get it. You don't get it. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do with you? Oh, nothing. Oh, it's not meant for me to do? I heard it's not for me to do. So why do I have to do anything with you? I don't have to do anything with you at all. Especially if doing anything with you feels like a forced task. It feels like an unpleasant chore. It feels like, because I heard being with me should be a bliss. It should not feel like a fucking chore. If it feels like a chore for you to be with me, then I don't even want to see you no more. It's like you're giving all this great experience whenever you spend time with somebody, but they just like don't see it, unimpressed, unsatisfied. They still bitch and complain the whole way through. Wow. Okay, but you started to see that and you say, no, I don't have to entertain this shit. Good on you, okay? Now you know how to let people carry the weight of their own behaviors and actions and consequences. So many times you try to correct things for other folks. You know that the only person you're accountable for is you. I didn't break you. I don't have to fix you. I didn't make you. I don't have to save you. Okay, you're not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm going to pay attention to my circus and my monkeys because I can't control what you do, but I can control what I do. And since what we do don't really vibe like that, why don't I let you do yours over there and I'll just go over here and I'll do mine over here. I see two people playing two different types of music. You know, somebody's into that grungy death metal music and somebody else is like super jazzy, vibey, neo soul vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different mentality, a whole different way. Okay, somebody like the oldies. I see the oldies. I see Motown. I see that, absolutely. I see somebody likes the 80s kind of electric-y vibe 80s music, okay? Let me see more. 80s pop. Yeah, you learn that everything has an end date. So you pay attention to what you sign a contract to start with. That you pay attention to the contract you signed to begin with, to start with. In other words, you don't enter into commitments and compromises of your principles at all. You don't enter into commitments that are compromises of your goals at all, or your new identity, because the new identity is honored above all else, I heard, because it's what you went through all that challenge to become. So of course I'm going to put this in the first place, okay? That's what I hear. Yeah. And it's like as you decide that anything that wants to come against that, any energy that's still residing in your auric field, any people, any circumstances or situations that counterproduce that energy of self-love in you is going to be highly pronounced. It's going to be highlighted with a yellow, a bright yellow highlighter, and it's going to be circled with a big red circle and underlined perfectly with a black pen. You can see it. It's like, which way do you need it? Because we've highlighted it, we've circled it, and we've underlined it. Because it's not in harmony with who you truly are. It doesn't allow the love in you to flow, and it's become super easy to detect when the love stops flowing in you. When you kink it off, like grabbing the hose and bending it and holding it bent, and the water stops flowing, it's resistant. It builds pressure and it's stressful. So you don't do that no more to yourself. But it's to practice of doing it many, many times in many, many situations. And some of you feel like, I'm still living in so many. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. It lasts for so long before you feel it and go through the experience in a sense where you feel like, oh, that was so easy. It was natural. I didn't even realize what it was until it was over. But to get to that place, you got to keep taking steps in that direction. And that's what you've been doing, taking steps in that direction. You recently crossed a major checkpoint. Yeah, they're showing me Super Mario Kart. That when you pass a certain checkpoint, if you die, if you fall off the side of the road, and when you regenerate your life, you start at the checkpoint, not at the beginning. So you cross a specific checkpoint, a milestone in life, a life milestone. It's changed your experience. And for some of you, yeah, you want to know if it's going to be better the next time around. Yeah, you already hit a critical checkpoint because you're a strong belief in reincarnation and all of that. So they're saying for you, absolutely. Okay, let me see more. Seven of Wands coming out. People don't even know what to think because I heard your boundaries are so smooth. Boundaries so smooth. In other words, like it's easy for you to speak up and assert your boundaries. But the way you do it, like people really can't. They have to be real asinine to talk back to it or try to push against it after you did it the way you do it. After you said it the way you say it. Yeah. It's like I said, like that one Eminem song, and I don't remember the lyrics specifically to it, but there's some Eminem song, and it was in that movie that he did, 8 Mile, where he like got up there and he told him, yeah, I am a trailer trash, and I this, and my mama do that, and I did, and he told all his dirt, right? And he dropped the mic when he told the man, so now what you got to say? Like, tell me some shit I don't know about me already. So the attacks just don't work. Give me a moment. Excuse me one moment. NailFads, how can I help you?
Hi, yes, how much for a regular pedicure?
Right around 100.
100, and what time you guys close?
I'll call 24/7. If you happen to come by now, I'm here. If not, then it will be a $35 deposit, and I'll come unlock the door for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, love. Bye. So you know yourself so much. Like I said, all the cracks and crevices, all the nooks and crannies of who and what you be. No matter what they want to throw at you, you're not intimidated. Like, go ahead, tell me that I was broke. Go ahead and tell me that, I came from mixed race. Go ahead, make fun about what had happened in my life. I already know that. You think you can hurt me with that? Like, I lived it. You're just talking shit about it. How hurt must you be to take somebody, not you, but the people that are doing this, how hurt must they be to take a person's pain and tragedy and then try to stab them again with it? Like, baby, they already had the whole thing from it. Like, the way my tribe is set up, you already went through the whole process. So now if they try to come and hurt you with that same thing again, it's like ineffective. It's like now you built immunities to it. Now you built the immunities to the bullshit. So when they try to do that, it's easy for you to stand your ground. And more than that, you don't even really have to defend yourself, stand your ground so much anymore, because it's your core dominant frequency now. It's your vibration now. It's your self-identity now. So your energy goes ahead of you and protects the path. It's just like that deposit I told her about on the phone. Do you know how many things go right for me because I have a deposit? You got to make it through the loopholes, baby. If they can't make it through your loopholes, that's what them boundaries is about. If they can't make it through your energetic loopholes, through the boundaries, they don't even get to approach. That's the energy. That is the energy, yeah. And so a lot of people you'll find people just standing, staring, and gawking at you. And you could wonder why. Well, because whether it's your physical appearance, in most cases, it's your energetic appearance, they can sense something different about you. You show up different in life. Authenticity has a different feel to it than the fake fucks that folks are used to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and you've been spiritually guided in this process for a long time. You've already made peace with different challenges with other people and circumstances that you had lived. Thank you for your love donation, Shannon. Yes, so you've already made peace with a lot of these situations and circumstances that you had gone through. And so again, like if you healed the trauma within you, they can't come turn it into a weapon against you at all. And they'd have to really try hard, because your happiness is so secure. You're showing up with King of Cups energy right now. Okay. Yeah, you're happy. You're happy to take care of your own needs. You're happy to be the reason that you're having this experience, so now you can investigate and do something about it if you don't like it. Oh, that part. And so there's even this energy I'm seeing. It's really comical when somebody tries to hit you in the chest about something that you've been, but you already know, and you're blessed from it, and you're at peace with it. And then they try to hit you, and to you, it's like they're all their might punch to the chest at you feels like a tickle at best, because yeah, your immunity, baby. You got immunity from this shit. Because you didn't run from it. You faced it. And it's been a long time coming, but you knew the change was going to come, and the change is here, baby. You have been on this journey and felt so alone for so long. Nobody really walked the path with you. That's what you figured out. It's just like that intersection at the red light again, where, you know, everybody's going their own way. They might drive down the same street in the same direction for a minute, but eventually everybody's going their own way. If you aren't the one that turns off, then they're going to turn off. You're not all usually following each other unless you're doing a caravan. And even in the caravan, some might get ahead. Some might fall behind. Everybody drives at their own speed. Some people got a lead foot. Some people got a feather foot, you know. Some people got a lead foot. Others got a feather foot. Funny. Okay. You never know, but, you know, one of the things that Spirit is loving about you right now is that you've kept yourself open to explore. You kept yourself open to explore. It didn't mean you were keeping everything, but you would have the conversation. You'd ask the question. You'd check to see what was actually there. Let me see. Let me just inquire about this. It's giving me the energy of test driving a car. You didn't even know if you would qualify for this car, and as a matter of fact, you don't want them to run your credit and check, but you do want to know if you can drive this car, so you go down to the dealership. You give them your driver's license. You take a test drive. Then you come back and they want to run your credit stuff. You're like, no, I think I'm going to think about that a little bit. I'm going to go test drive a couple more cars and then I'll let you run my credit. Okay? That part. All right, let me see what else. Two of Wands. Spirit saying, we keep giving you choices to see what you're going to do with them. And see, the one thing you've consistently done with them, so they're showing me, when they say we keep giving you a series of choices, they're showing me the universe, your life has thrown a large array and variety, assortment of different types of experiences. Happy, sad, kind of boring, super exciting, tragic, and blissful. And what they're showing me is it has been very necessary for you to live the wide range of human experience. It is necessary as a human to be fully integrated with all that you are so that you can become the caterpillar that turns into the cocoon phase and gets completely broke down to reveal a butterfly. You had to be broke down. In other words, you had to feel the entire range of human experience to have the full transformation. See, it's like, if the cocoon didn't break down the entire caterpillar body, the entire butterfly body could not come out. We don't need no deformed butterflies flying around here. I'm just saying, and I ain't never seen one or heard of one. But in this life, if you didn't fully integrate all the different parts of your human experience, all those different wide range of emotions, then the full transformation can't happen until you do. So some of you are, still learning how to process these human experiences that gave such strong emotion. Others of you have done some of it. You still got more to go. Others of you have done so much of it and you're about to hit another little piece, and then it'll be a full transformation. And then there's the ones that are fully transformed because you really have gone into every bit of the human experience. You felt every human emotion. You've explored them. You've come to understand them. You don't let them control you. You're ready to let go of things that had held you back, and you have. And then you transform and you turn into boss energy. Yeah. And then as a result of that, 10 of Pentacles, like you have this wealth of wisdom and abundance, and it shows up in different ways. It shows up in friends that pay for meals. It shows up in great deals at the store. It shows up in free rent. It shows up in gifts. It shows up in meetings and conversations. It shows up and being the first one in line on a busy morning. It shows up with finding something that exists, a new gadget, a new toy. You didn't even know it existed, but it's exactly what you need. And it shows up in a variety of ways. And you accept it and you receive it and you stay in the receptive mode. Let me look at the bottom of this deck here. We had the Ace of Pentacles. I love it because the entire time we have been really focused on talking about you. And this is giving me, you're your star player, baby. You're the main character now. You're the main character now. Yes, okay. Yes. Because all God's children are special, but not like you. No, not like you. Okay? Yes. Lift your head to the sky. Yes, lift your head to the sky, baby. Because all God's children are special, but not like you. And you realize that. Like, and that it's not about putting yourself above or below anyone else. But when you realize your own specialness, and I just see somebody, yeah, that bitch ain't spiritual, that bitch ain't spiritual, that bitch ain't spiritual, because it happened. And it's like, no, I am special for every reason you would like me to believe that I'm not. Oh. So that energy is there. Wow, King of Pentacles, looking at the Ace of Pentacles, like the master of this. You took what came in life and you mastered it, baby. And it's having a full, tangible effect in your physical experience. I see great contracts, great alignments, people doing exactly what they said. I see generosity pouring in ways that you couldn't even have imagined in your own head. And it came in because of your consistency and holding your character in your higher vibration and higher frequency, regardless of what the outside influences tried to program into you, tell you, or influence you. You didn't fall for none of that. This is what I have for you at this time. I'm so thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. Later, baby.